My name is Jason Rhodes. I've been the owner of a successful remodeling company for 3 years. I've dedicated 85% of the profit from that business to remodeling homes for disabled veterans and first responders completely for free. I have created a nonprofit 501c3 to assist in continuing this work. I am on a mission to bring awareness to the need and to raise money by walking 1,400 miles from Sanford, North Carolina to Austin, Texas. Please visit renovet.org to learn how you can help. That's RENOVET.org.
What's going on, friends and fam? Thank you so much for watching Every Day is a Saturday with your host, me, myself, and I, Brian Roof. Hey guys, we got one of my favorite interviewees, one of my buddies. He's become a good friend of mine. He's doing something great, walking across this nation, to raise awareness. He's a Navy veteran. A lot of you guys have been following this, but we got Jason Rhodes from Renovet with us. Let's bring him on. What's going on, brother?
What's going on? How are you today?
All right, man. I can't complain. It's a good day. It's 420 here in California. That's a good day.
and every day is a Saturday.
And every day's a Saturday, brother. So what's up, man? How's things going? Let's kind of talk about where you're at and stuff like that. The last time we touched bases with you, had made it to Tennessee. So
yes, sir. We made it to last time we spoke. I was in Summertown and Mount Pleasant, in between Summertown and Mount Pleasant, Tennessee. And since then we have pushed.
Joey, what's up, brother? Welcome in. Sorry, Jason.
Oh, you're good. We had pushed a couple hundred more miles and went through the old Memphis area and crossed over the mighty Mississippi and crossed over into West Memphis, Arkansas, and now we're deep in Arkansas, about 20 minutes outside of Little Rock.
Man, you're really starting to start the truck, man. You're starting to really get some. What's your mileage at right now?
So I'm 850 miles, roughly 860 miles in. So we're about another week, we'll be at that 1,000-mile mark. So,
gosh, man,
yeah,
them boots were made for walking.
Well, they were made for something. But yeah, man, it's Arkansas's the rest of Tennessee, man. I've seen a lot of devastation and destruction from the tornadoes that had went through there, man. And all of my thoughts and prayers out to the people through that part of Tennessee, man. I've seen a lot of that stuff. I got some pictures, just the paths that the tornadoes took and some of the houses that it hit. And there was a couple big communities down in Waynesboro got hit. I didn't get to see it because it had laid trees all down in the road, and the road crews were in there trying to cut them out while I was there when I left. But it was a lot of devastation, man. So when I came across the Mississippi, it hit north of Memphis is where the tornadoes started hitting. So when I came across the Mississippi, I did a TikTok live and just kind of dedicated that walk across that bridge to all the people that were affected by that there, because that's got to be pretty rough on them.
Yeah, man, that's too bad, dude. That is rough. I mean,
yeah,
the natural disasters, you just never know when they're going to hit, and they don't give a shit what's in its path.
No, it didn't, man. I seen the the metal guardrails that go down the side of the road.
Yeah,
it looked like they had to go through and cut them off with grinders, where it just ripped them and laid them out into the middle of the highway. I was like, damn. Good. It was telephone poles laid over, big trees just falling on houses, and I seen this one row that looked like it just stripped the bark off the trees, like it just skinned them. I was like, how did that? I've never seen that before. But it was I think there was 14 that touched down in that area over the matter of a couple days. So it was definitely, like I said, a lot of devastation through there. And then, obviously everybody was warning me about walking through Memphis, told me to be careful and stuff like that. But I had a good friend of mine that actually works for the VA. I didn't know him until, when he picked me up. I had a good friend of mine from North Carolina call him and say, "Hey, man, give my man a place to stay tonight." So I went and stayed with him. We got talking. He worked for the VA. So that was pretty awesome. And then Memphis really wasn't that bad. Like I said, walked all the way through, got some good pictures, went to the old Bass Pro Shop that's shaped like the pyramid. That was pretty neat. I'm gonna post videos of that probably here in the next couple of days. And then we walked over the Mississippi, man, came into West Memphis, and nobody warned me about West Memphis and Forest City, and they probably should have.
Why? What's up with that place, dude? A little rough?
Ooh, Brian.
You started really getting a little pep in the step, or what?
Yeah, that's what picked my mileage
Start jogging.
Yeah, I started running. Well, West Memphis, West Memphis, I came through during the day. It wasn't that bad, but then I came into Forest City in the evening. It's starting to get, a little dark, and I'm gonna tell you, man, I didn't even make it into the city. A couple guys come up to me, started asking me for hard drugs if I had any. Then I felt like they were trying to surround me, and I wasn't.
Oh no, yeah, bro.
Yeah, and I was like, and they kept asking me for this and that. And I said, "Look, man, I don't have any of that, but the one thing I do have is hot lead. Who wants it?" So they were like, "Oh, you." So I wasn't playing around with that, and they were like, "Oh, you are who we thought you were." I was like, "Yeah, you're a victim. I'm not." So
not
but,
today. You wrestling with the wrong motherfucker.
Yeah, because like I said, I wasn't even in the city yet, and then I started walking through, and then I had some people start Googling that area, and they were like, "It's got the worst crime capital per whatever in the whole U.S." So I was like, "Jesus, nobody wanted to tell me about that." So, but got through there pretty good. Got on the outskirts of there, camped out, got my phone charged up, just kind of kept pushing through, and wound up coming through couple good looking places. Like I posted some videos. White River was one of them that I crossed over. Had this cool ass old kind of like railroad track
that bridge and stuff. Yeah, bro.
Man.
I saw that video, man, on TikTok. That was great.
Yeah,
I love seeing all those scenery, man.
That's
you see some damn beautiful areas.
If it's some stuff, I think because I'm walking and Google has me walking on, not on the interstate, I'm going to get to see a little more. Nothing's appealing when you're driving down the interstate, really.
Right.
So, it's got me on the kind of the side roads, and it lets me get a little bit better view. And then I'm also, only walking, 2 or 3 miles an hour. So I can't miss much, and then I came through one area that like I told you, I thought I'd made a wrong turn. It looked like the swamps of Louisiana for a little bit. I was like, wait a minute now. So, and there was nowhere to camp. I was like, I'm just about to run the whole way through this thing until I come into a town. It was like 7 miles. And I finally seen this little cutoff that went down, and they were doing road work. And I see this old steamroller sitting there. It's got the big plate on the top of it that blocked the sun and the rain. And I slept on top of that. So, I don't know what kind of critters y'all got, but they ain't getting up here. But yeah. And then I woke up the next morning. It was a duck impound. That's all it was. It was, water could have been a couple inches deep, but that's deep enough for snakes to get in. And I didn't want to be sleeping on the ground next to that. So, but yeah, that was interesting. And then just kept pushing on through and went through.
How's the weather been for you, man? Has the weather been cooperating?
It really
all over
has.
The place?
It really has ever since the bad weather in Tennessee. I haven't had much bad weather. I haven't had any rain. It's been about in the mid to high 70s to the low 80s a couple of days. So you can see how beautiful it is out here right now, man. It's been pretty much like that the whole time. And they're calling for rain later this afternoon, which is another reason I'm gonna go ahead and get a hotel for the night, because I got that interview tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning with the news channel out of Little Rock. So yeah, man.
We got a question for you. I just read the caption. Where do you sleep and use the bathroom?
Okay,
this is,
so
Joey Edibles from Square Table Degenerates. He has his own show. He's a great guy.
Yeah, so I'll get off my rut real quick so we can show it to you. But so
When you're walking.
this is what we're carrying. It's about right now. It's probably about 50 pounds with all the food in it, but it also has a tent inside of it. So what I try to do is, find good places to camp. Try to tuck off in the tree line a little bit. Make sure I'm not on private property with posted signs and stuff like that. And then sometimes, like I said, it's just opportunity. If I'm in the middle of the swamp, I'm gonna sleep on top of a steamroller. If I have to. So, but a lot of time too, churches, stuff like that, to have picnic tables and stuff out back with a little awning over them, give me a little bit of shelter. And using the bathroom, sometimes it's as close as you can get, So
I know he has hit up a couple Dollar Generals, right?
Yes, I have. That's where I buy my food and use my bathrooms. So
yeah. So Joey, he's all over it, bro.
yeah. It's really, it's just and I was trying to figure this out. A lot of people talk about they go camping and stuff like that. And this is a whole different ball game. It's you're not trying to gray man. You're not trying to not be seen. Because you want to be seen. You want to spread the word.
Right.
But when you got to use the bathroom, you definitely don't want to be seen. You'll line up as a little red dot on a map, and nobody wants that. So surprisingly, there's a lot of construction going on. So porta johns are out there, and I'm in the construction world, so I'm already used to blue water on my balls. So it works out.
Right.
So but yeah, as far as where I sleep is just wherever I can find that night, and then like I said, about every week or so I'll get a hotel and get cleaned up, wash some clothes, get a fresh start for another week, and that's been working out pretty good. And like I said, last night, the truck or the Love's truck stop, I stopped there and took me a shower last night, so it's a little different, but I'm adjusting. I guess to say I'm adapting and overcoming, Brian.
Yeah, listen, Joey, I secretly love clean porta johns.
I do too.
Everybody can appreciate a good clean porta john.
I'll tell you what else you can appreciate is a good, clean, handicap accessible porta john that's like 4 foot wide and deep.
Yeah,
that
wide one.
Yeah, that's the one you can sling your pack off, throw it on the ground. You can do jumping jacks if you need to. But yeah, man, we hit a couple good waterfalls, couple good lakes. Like you said, the scenery, man. And I did camp out at the lake one night. That was the first night I got to actually get a big fire going. I posted a video. That was pretty very satisfying.
I think to capitalize on your wild adventure, man, you got to get a fishing pole, catch you a little fish, gut it up, put it on a pan, and eat it out there one time, and just say you ate. You literally caught your food and ate it.
Well, I finally got me a walking stick. I broke down and cut me one down, and I thought, I could probably tie some fishing line around the end of this thing, just make a little hobo fishing pole,
Right.
And I'll tell you, Arkansas, I didn't know had as much water in it as it does. So that might be in the works. Like I said, the Walmart's right up here. It's the first kind of decent store I've seen in a couple. About a week.
You like a little Snoopy, one, a little small one, bro, and you just fold it in half, put it in the backpack.
Hey, if I get one, it's gonna be the Donald Duck and the sailor outfit. You know that. Come on now.
Yeah, even better.
but yeah, I might just do that. And I have a actual K-bar hobo reel. And I was going to bring it, but I was like, I ain't never going to come across water like that. And I've come across some of those beautiful lakes and rivers I've ever seen. I'm like, man, dang. So, but yeah.
So we have another question from Joey. Have you had any run-ins with law enforcement or heard any snide comments from strangers along the way?
Not to my recollection. No, I'm just kidding. No. So I did we talked about this in the beginning. I had a few run-ins with the law enforcement. They were getting called on me quite regularly as a suspicious person.
This was when he
Um,
was in North Carolina.
yeah, the not even just North Carolina, the county over from the one I left. But after that, it's been fine. So, but yeah, I got them called on me a few times, and it was frustrating at first. But then, like I said, I started looking at it like opportunity. I don't have to go find them, especially what I'm doing, you know. So it worked out, and then I've had a lot of officers check on me, and then something that I've started doing is trying to stop by the police departments in the towns that I'm going through and just say, hey, let them know who I am, what I'm doing,
Right.
and then they'll call a couple towns over. And now I get officers riding by, blowing their horn, hitting their sirens, the lights and stuff,
Oh,
waving
man.
at me.
Nice.
So that's been
Badass.
awesome. Yeah, and I try to hit most of the fire departments if they're not out on call. If I see that they just left or something, I don't try to bother them because I know they got a job to do. But I stop by as many fire departments as I can too, and EMTs like first, like EMT paramedics and stuff like that I see. But as far as snide remarks, um, I'm gonna tell you a funny story in a second, Ryan. You're gonna love this, but I really, I mean, I've been asked to leave from a convenience store. Sitting down, it's inside. They have inside seating. I went and bought me a cup of coffee, sat down to drink it, and was asked to leave in the middle of a pouring down rainstorm. I was like, all right, I guess. So
The hell?
yeah, it was just, hey, you've been here too long, and I'm like, and I'm carrying a backpack, so I kind of they, I get the thought process, but at the same time, it's like, man, I spent money, I should be able to sit here. But anyway,
Yeah.
and then
That
I had
sucks.
some Amish people, give me the evil eye because I recorded them. I didn't know you couldn't do that. So, but I didn't know you couldn't record them. I was like, it's public road. You're riding down the highway. What am I like? This is pretty cool. But it's kind
Hey,
of funny because
I'm
in the
admiring it.
yeah, well, in the video, it's so funny because even the horse's head turns and looks at me. So I'm like, geez, like even the horse knows that. I said, how does the horse
Like,
know? And I
who the
don't know.
fuck is recording us? What
Yeah,
electronic
yeah,
stuff is that?
yeah. But and then
It's all buzzing their ears like,
yeah. So there's two funny stories. So I was walking down the road. It was about 4 o'clock in the morning. I was trying to get the gas station that I got kicked out of, and I was trying to get there for breakfast. And it's raining. So I can't hear nothing because it's hitting all the leaves and the trees around me. So I can't. But I just happened to hear this. Sounds like thunder behind me, and I'm like, damn, And I turn around, and when I turn around, all I see is this horse and this chariot coming at me, my first thought was fucking headless horseman, like I'm gonna die. And then I was like Ichabod Crane style on the side of the fucking road
oh
right
shit,
now.
dude.
But it scared the shit out of me, and they weren't nowhere near me. I was walking to the other side, but that scared the shit out of me. And then so I just got this walking stick. This is probably going to be one of my favorite stories, I think, to the end. So I'm walking down the railroad tracks, and I can't hear worth a shit 90% of the time. But something tells me to turn around, and I turn around and I see this fucking train, and I mean
Oh no.
it was barreling, and when I seen it, I was like, oh, it's far enough away. But then I caught how fast it was going. I was like, oh my God. So I jump off the
No.
tracks, and you probably could have counted to five before that thing went by me. Like it was, well,
Holy
when it went,
shit, dude.
yeah. So hold on, hold on. So then I hear the screeching. The train is slamming on brakes, right? So I'm like looking and I'm like, oh shit. So I walk through the woods and get back on the road, right? So I'm walking and about 200 yards down is where the front of this train finally come to a halt. And I hear this guy standing out on this thing. I look over kind of out the corner of my eye, and he's like, you dumb son of a bitch. You dumb. So I take my walking stick and start tapping the ground in front of me like I'm fucking blind. I was like, I was like, I'm sorry. I just wandered on the tracks. So,
Oh,
He's still,
dude.
so if anybody's Amazon package is late, my bad.
This motherfucker stopped a whole
So,
train.
man, I think that's what I was hearing was the screeching of the brakes, man. I started
Thing
tapping the
takes
road.
miles to stop, bro. He's like,
That's I was like, what good
he
did it do
started the
to stop?
process.
Yeah, you know how much energy it takes to stop and start a train? A lot. So, but
Whoops.
yeah, my bad.
Fuck.
So, so, so now I'm just gonna stick to the highway, I guess.
Shit. Dude.
But
Man, that's great. So we got another question from Joey.
yep.
Ever get offered a ride?
So a lot of times I have, and just to clarify too, I have taken a ride here and there. If it's so, like when I was coming through the Appalachian, I think I told you this. Like 3 or 4 people said, "Do not walk down that road." They, they said you're gonna die, and I was
Yeah.
like, and the
You
first one
took
that told me,
heed to that shit.
yeah, the
Yeah.
first one that told me, I was kind of like, he's probably just paranoid. But then the next two that told me, they were like, no, don't walk down. So it was like 7 miles I took, walking down that road. And then I think the next it was pouring down rain. And this guy stopped beside me in this old cut up school bus that he had cut up and put together, like made almost like a short bus out of it. But it was pouring down rain and I had about 3 miles to get, into town. And he gave me a ride. And then I kind of equate that to like where I'm at now. I've walked about 15 miles out of the way to be able to do this news interview. So it's going to take me another 15 miles to go back to get, where I needed to be. So, I kind of sacrificed a little bit of taking a ride here or there to get out of weather or whatever dangerous situation I would be put in, and then just kind of, because I wasn't supposed to come all the way to Little Rock. I was actually supposed to cut down in the last town I was in, which I think was Duval's Bluff, I think. So, but yes, to answer the question, I have been offered a lot of rides, and I actually got offered a job the other day. I was like,
Oh,
"What
no
did you
shit.
notice?" Yeah, I was like, "Did you notice my fucking work ethic? Like, I don't know what's going on right now. Like, I
They're
don't
like,
get it."
this hobo, man, we're going to get him off the street.
Yeah, right. Yeah, what I'm thinking. I didn't know whether to be offended or feel flattered. I was like, well, all right. So, but and then but yeah, I do get offered a ride, quite a bit. It happens a lot, but I just tell people, that's I'm walking and if I feel like a situation is probably, especially walking down the highway when it's pouring down rain, people can't see and wrecks and stuff like that, and if I have and that's only happened once because I got caught in it. You know what I mean? It wasn't supposed to rain or anything that day, and it just fell a flood. And I was like, well, if I'm already soaking wet, but if this guy could get me to the nearest restaurant where I can sit down, eat, you know what I mean, get in somewhere dry. So I think altogether I've probably maybe 10 miles is what I've gotten in rides. And like I said, I've backtracked all the way back through Mount Pleasant, Somerset, probably 15, 20 miles, to get the waterfall pictures and creeks and stuff like that. So it's, I hate that I've taken them, but at the same time, I'd rather be alive to make the next run, so,
No
so,
shit. Yeah, dude. I mean, here and there, like you said, it doesn't matter. This is your journey.
mhm.
You get to choose, what you do and how you do it.
That, well, yeah. And like I said, I'm never gonna, I don't think I mean, unless I just started getting rides from here on out, I don't think I'm gonna make up 20 miles via car ride,
Right.
and now, so when I start heading down south to Pine Bluff, then I'm gonna cut over from Pine Bluff and shoot down to Shreveport, and I've got, some buddies that live down in Shreveport that have all told me I can stay with them and get a good meal, get a good night's sleep, from one side of Shreveport to the other, and I won't be in Louisiana long at all. So.
Kind of just going through the top corner of it.
Yeah, yep,
Louisiana.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, do you have any big hurdles or anything like that you know of that you're going to experience while you're in Arkansas?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Brian. I can't think of any. I haven't really seen much of anything that, I mean, the swamp was kind of, a big thing. But just because there's nowhere to camp. You got to either push through it, or unless you have an opportunity that comes up like I had, because you definitely don't want to be sleeping on the side of the road, big ass
Mm.
wake up, in the water. but it's I think that one thing that's going to get me is going to be the heat in Texas and the long stretch of probably nothing. I think that's going to be a big hurdle.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess probably the further out that it gets, it's going to start getting warmer and warmer as you go.
Yeah. Well,
and yeah, Texas definitely is one of them states. I'm not sure because you're going to probably be more on the northern side of Texas.
I'll be the north. Well, I'll be about an hour away from San Antonio, an hour and 15, I think, from San Antonio, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But yeah, it'll be the eastern, northeastern part of Texas. And I think, like I said, one of the biggest things is going to be how long of a stretch it is from town to town, that actually has, places to restock water and stuff like that, But I've got a bunch of friends down in Texas now that are, that have been following. And if I need somebody to bring me some water, maybe I can get somebody to bring me some water. But I'm also getting really good at conserving it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. And a lot of people are, why the hell did you leave in the middle of winter? And I'm like, so I didn't get to Austin in the middle of freaking summer. Like,
right. Yeah.
I'd rather deal with a little bit of cold in the mountains, than deal with 110-degree dry heat in the desert.
Yeah, and I feel like you've been kind of reasonably lucky with the weather too. I mean, it seems like it hasn't been horrible, right? I mean,
no, it really hasn't, other than the storms that came through a couple weeks ago.
How many setbacks do you think you've had because of the weather?
I'd say a total days. Well, and just to clarify that too, they had one storm system come in right behind another one, so I waited those couple days too for the next one to roll through. I just thought it would be smarter than getting too far away and not knowing someone, that I could stay with, and knowing that it was going to be, probably 100 miles before I got to a hotel. So I would definitely say, I'd say about 10 days, 11 days maybe, just based off of just the weather. And I don't think that's bad, considering I've been going for 2 months and a week. So
yeah, dang, dude, I know, 2 months and a week already.
Yeah, and I was supposed to be done already. Well, and like I said, that was just me. I was just going to be walking, and I was going to have my truck and my camper behind me. So then it went to a ruck, and and now it's getting to where I'm having to carry more food because, like I said, the towns are fewer and further. You might come across a small town, but there might not be anything in it.
Now, I know your original goal was like 22 a day, and I know at first you were kind of struggling to hit those 22 a day, but now I seen that you've kind of sometimes gone over 22. So it looks like you're starting to make up some ground. I guess on certain days you're like, fuck it, I feel it still.
Yeah,
or you're just not in a spot to chill yet, or you just got to keep on going till you get there.
A lot of it, in all honesty, Brian, like I said, there's no service, so I don't get distracted on my phone, and I don't pull over, you know what I mean, and try to do stuff like that. And I hate to say distracted, but I mean, I sit down to smoke a cigarette, take my boots off, I get on my phone. It could be 30 minutes before I get up instead of a normal 5-minute
break.
Yeah,
man, you start scrolling, bro. You just before you know, you're like, oh shit, that's an hour.
Yeah, it's dark. Yeah. But yeah, now we're getting into where I would say between 20 and 25 is a norm. And I've hit 27 miles in a day a couple times.
Wow.
And then, after about 3 or 4 days of that, my body will start to, all right, back it down to about 15, get you some good rest, get you some good sleep, and then pick it back up and do it again, and then that also kind of revolves around, I put about 3 to 5 days worth of food and water in my pack. And so when I do stop, now I got a heavier load. I'm pushing that's when I get about that 15-mile day in. And then the more I eat, the more I drink, the less the pack weighs, the more I'm able to push forward a little bit further. And I never thought that, a couple pounds would make that much of a difference. Walking, I could see running or something, but, it does.
Yeah. Joey has another question. How do you charge your cell phone, and how is reception in the middle of nowhere?
Well, so Verizon shit. Um, I'm just kidding. I think they forgot to install towers from the Mississippi to Summertown. But no, you know I guess to the charging, like you said, Dollar Generals. When I go in there to get something, I sit out in front. I'll charge my phone for a little bit. I try not to use my battery packs as much as possible. If I do sit down to eat at a restaurant, I'll charge them. But I do carry three battery packs on me for charging my phone and my watch. And then as far as the service, it's hit or miss, man. I could be walking through and have everything on 5G, and then take 6 steps and it's nothing. It's an X. I'm like, what the hell? So it's and that's
Can you hear me
concerning.
now? Can you hear me now?
You just gotta throw it up in the air and holler at it, I guess. I don't so, but yeah, that's how we're charging. It's opportunity. What I'm doing, it's opportunity. And that's another reason too, that sometimes it's hard to get that 22 a day, because you might hit a town and the next town's 7 miles out, but everything's low. Your watch is low, your packs are low, your battery packs are low, your phone charge is low. So you want to stop in that town to charge, and then to charge 3 battery packs, a phone and a watch, you could be sitting there for 2-3 hours. So it's definitely, it's hard to, when I thought, oh, I could walk 22 miles a day, there was a lot of shit that I didn't account for, and that's and that's one of them.
Shit.
I mean,
I imagine, dude.
But you learn, man, and that's one of the best parts about this is the learning process for me personally. And obviously, I've had a lot of people reach out and tell me they love what I'm doing and it's helping them and stuff like that. That is the number one thing. But learning a lot about yourself and figuring things out as you go. I've always been pretty decent at that. So
this is a pretty funny one. If you average 20 miles a day, you would finish the Oregon Trail in 100 days.
As long as I don't have to go through Portland.
Right?
Keep it weird. No, it's wow. 20 miles. Well, now that depends. Now, is that up and down? Is that hilly? Is that elevation? What are we talking? So I'm learning this shit.
Man, yeah, Oregon's definitely mountains, dude.
Yep.
Hold on. There can't be sidewalks everywhere. Do you march in the road or on the shoulder?
Okay, so I posted a video about this too. Some roads have really big shoulders, and they do, and then some you have no shoulder, so you just got to get in the grass or wherever you can go. So something that I've learned to do too is kind of stick to. You can't walk down the interstate. That's because it's illegal. So when it tells me to take a highway, something I do is, a lot of times it'll tell me to cut this corner to make it shorter, but that'll actually make it longer because you're stepping off the road, on the road, off the road, on the road. And depending on what time of day it is, if it's, in the morning when traffic's heavy going to work, in the evening when traffic's heavy coming back from work. So what I try to do is find the bigger highways and try to just straight shot them, because I can make up more time being able to walk down that big shoulder. You know what I mean? Instead of having to step off and walk in the grass, because I've had to do that a lot, especially in North Carolina, and then coming through down out of the mountains in Tennessee. Some of the roads it took me. So I kind of picked that up in those 2 states and said, you know what, like I'm on Highway 70 now in Arkansas, and then the next one's 79. And I ask questions. Hey, does 79 have a pretty decent shoulder? They're like, oh yeah, the whole way down, or, something like that. So it just depends. How sometimes you got something to walk on, sometimes you don't, and sometimes you're diving in ditches to get away from people that can't even stay on the road. So, it is. I chose this life, so I can't bitch about it.
Right. So what's your projection now, man? Do you got a projection of when you're going to hit Texas?
4 more weeks. I should be in Austin. That's my goal. Yeah. So I've got about 550 miles. Yep. About 550 miles to go. And even if I pull 20 a day, that's 170 a week, because I walk 7 days a week. So yeah, I mean, it might even be less than 4 weeks if I do the math. So you're talking 140, 280, 350. No, that's not right. 380, 450. So yeah, it'll be about 4 weeks, about 3.5, 4 weeks. I'll be in Austin. So
Okay.
and that's my projection as long as I don't get hit with any more weather. But we know that we're in
We're gonna say
tornado
about the
season.
end of May, beginning June-ish.
Uh,
Maybe it's 420 right now, obviously.
yeah, yeah. So it'll be close to the end of May, and I'll be wrapped up.
Nice.
So and well, with this part, because I don't know what the future holds right now. You know, we'll have to see. You know, so I know one thing. It's gonna be a whole nother ball game if I ever do it again. It's gonna be silkies and tennis shoes, maybe even
Oh,
flip flops.
yeah. I mean, because once you reach Texas, you're gonna really it's gonna be hot. So I
Yeah.
mean, you're gonna have to really think about what your next step is. Because I know you did you had mentioned at one point in time you might just keep on going. So.
Yeah, if I get to Austin and something tells me that I need to keep going, I mean, obviously, I think I'd take a break. I'd go home for a little bit, see some family, stuff like that, and visit with some people, and But as far as I don't know what the plan is yet, Brian. I just my plan is to get to Austin and do what I set out to do from the beginning. If nothing else, I think that'll at least show people that when I tell them I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. You know. I think that says, and that's I'm learning that about myself. A lot of times we don't give ourselves enough, uh, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, we don't enough credit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think if I walk 1,400 miles from winter to summer, from East Coast Texas to Austin, Texas, I think that says a lot about somebody. So
yeah, man, absolutely, brother.
so.
I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, you are, especially, dude. I mean, you're not, little 20-year-old anymore. You know what I mean? So, how's how's your body holding up on all this, man? I mean, your feet and all that. You keeping them dry?
Yeah. I change out socks about 4 times a day. And usually I have a bottle of water, a big bottle of water that I'll run over my socks, just kind of wring them out, and then I'll hang them on my pack, let them dry. I have it's not Molly, but it's got a couple loops so I can run a shirt through it, underwear through it, a couple socks through it, just kind of everything hangs on the back of my pack. So I do try to keep my socks changed as much as I can. Like I said, it'll if I'm doing 25 miles a day, 27 miles a day, after about 3 or 4 days of that, my feet are like, hey, bud, just take it easy tomorrow, But as far as physical strength, man, like I feel good. I'm down to about 150, so I've cut about 15 pounds, and I think that's pretty good for I'm 5'7" at 165 is what I was
You're
when I
lightening
left.
your load, man. I mean, shoot.
Yeah, it's but I'm getting stronger. My lower body, I'm not really doing a whole lot of upper body stuff, other than carrying my pack.
Right.
But I mean, I think I'm doing okay. I mean, I've got some blisters and some sore spots on my feet, now, but that's stuff that I'm taking the day to rest, going to take tomorrow, rest up a little bit, while I have that interview in the morning, and hopefully that'll be enough to get me back in the saddle and keep pushing, do another 20, and I might even try to just back it down to 20 every day, just instead of trying to push 25, 27. If that's going to make me stop for a day or two, maybe move me just to do 20 a day, so
Yeah, you don't want to blow your load all,
yeah,
so to speak.
yeah, no, yeah, right. Oh no, I do. It's just I just gotta get home first, Brian. Gotta get home first, Brian. It's been a long 2 months, Brian.
Man, my bad. No shit, man. He's back on deployment or some shit again, man. Times are rough.
Yeah, no, real rough.
The Sahara Desert and that matter.
Did you see my video with the goats?
No, I don't think I have.
So that song by R. Kelly, My Mind's Telling Me No?
Oh my gosh.
I got these goats. There was one looking me right. Oh, he was looking me right in the eye. I was like, my mind's telling me no.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, I got him, Brian. I got him. That's funny.
Man, that's freaking great, dude. The
Well,
sense of humor.
hey man, you gotta have it, man.
You have to.
You gotta find the, for the longest time I was walking through Tennessee and I keep seeing these little, they're probably about 3-4 inches in diameter, just little round, jagged edge, look like shells. I was like, what the hell kind of turtle is that? Because there's just pieces of them everywhere. I was like, these damn turtles are stupid. They're just running out in the middle of the road. Like, what the hell? And and then I was walking at night, and you can barely see stuff at night sometimes. I was like, what the hell is that? I took my flashlight out. There's a damn armadillo. I'd never seen a fucking armadillo. Like a damn possum with armor on. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Did those guys shed that shit or something, dude? Or
No, it's just where they get run over. And there's just pieces of them laying
just find the
everywhere.
remnants. Oh, shit.
Yeah, I thought it was turtles, man. I was like, why are these, what the fuck is wrong with these turtles, man?
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, man. And then when I was sleeping on the roof of the steamroller, the top of that thing, I've been asleep for a couple hours, and it sounds like something massive is just running around in the water, and I'm like, I got to see what this is, So I take my pistol out. I got a light on it, and I shine it across there, and it's about 30 fucking raccoons. Look like they're playing fucking water polo, man. They're just splashing water at each other, having a good old fucking time. And I'm like, what? I'm trying to sleep, but
they're like, you're fucking bothering us. Leave us the fuck alone.
Yeah. Turn the fucking light off,
bro?
Man. Yeah. We're out here trying to play Marco Polo
Skinny
in the dark.
dipping over here, man.
Yeah, you lighting us up. but
son of a bitch is ruining all the fun.
Yeah. Fucking go back to sleep, asshole. But but yeah, I mean, as far as wildlife, I did finally see my first couple snakes, and they were in ditches going through the water. I've seen a couple of them run over on the road, but yeah, man, I really haven't.
Don't they got those fucking water moccasins and shit over in that?
They got water moccasins.
Man?
They got copperheads, and they got rattlesnakes out here.
Oh, all kinds of poisonous shit.
Yeah, that's why when I seen that damn steamroller, I was like, that looks like a great place to sleep.
Yeah, bro. Funk that, dude. Knowing that part.
Yeah. Well, and then like last night, like I made it into a town, and I ate at a little pizza place, and they had a gazebo set up. So I went in there, and they had outlets on it, so I was able to charge my phone, charge my stuff, just sit there, chill, get my boots, my socks off, And then I wound up going up to the Love's truck stop. And that's another thing. Like last night, I walked 3 miles up to the Love's truck stop just to take a shower, and then walked 3 miles straight back to the same spot I was at. So like I said, I know it doesn't justify it, but I mean, I feel like I've walked more miles than I've actually gotten in rides. So, and that's the other bad thing about not being able to walk down the interstate. You got a lot more options on the interstate, whereas these backways, if they're running parallel, they can be 2 miles away or a half a mile away from each other at some point, because they're curving in and out, So it's like I said, it's definitely tricky, but is what it is.
Well, shit, man. I'm glad you're doing okay and still trekking along, though. Hey, one more. We'll do one more question, and then we'll let you go because I know, cell
absolutely.
phone reception and battery and all
man.
that. But what about bugs and stuff and all that, man? You get lit up by them son of a bitches or what, dude? I mean,
these fucking things in Arkansas should be pterodactyls. They're massive, man. Like they are fucking massive. But I do some nights, especially in the evenings. During the day you'll get one or two every now and again, but I mean, as far as at nighttime in the evening when that sun starts going down, especially when I was in that swamp area, I mean, it was just me inside of my sleeping bag, and I just zipped it all the way up, wrenched the top of it, pulled the scent string down. I was like, oh God, get out of here, man. I woke up, the top of my hands were covered in bites and stuff, man. But yeah, the bugs are something else. and it's also, getting warmer, so there's time for them to come out, But I do but I did leave. I had a tarp when I left, and then now I've got a tent. So, that's, so now it's got a net all the way around it, and then it's got a bivvy that goes over it. So if it does rain, I can get out of the rain if I need to. And I was thinking about that too. I was like, probably need something to get away from the bugs when it starts to warm up. So That's been a lifesaver, really. At nighttime, being able to get in that thing. So, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
I
Joey
feel
said the mosquito is the Arkansas state bird.
the state bird. I've had 4 people send me that text, and 20 people send me a text about Memphis, but nobody told me about Forest fucking City. I don't know what the hell. No, but yeah, that's yep. I've had 4 people have sent me text about that, and I was like, man, you ain't kidding. They're atrocious, man. It's
Jeez,
just,
bro, you better fucking get some spray.
I think when I go to Walmart, I'm gonna get like one of them nets, like the mosquito nets, just hanging over
Yeah,
me
just
and
be
walk down
walking
the road.
around.
Yep, yep. It beats getting bit,
Hell yeah.
But it's like I said, man. It's I feel like I'm still in good spirits, Brian. I
Good,
remember
man.
we had talked. I remember we had talked maybe the first interview that I was in, and I told you, I said never once have I thought about I can't do it or I'm not gonna make it or anything, man. And I've never felt like that. I've always felt like today was rough, but tomorrow's another day, or whatever situation it is. I'm stuck here for a couple days, a week, whatever. But you know what? When it's done, I'll just look at it like I got a chance to rest.
Yep.
And getting and walking all the way through Tennessee from the northeast corner to the southwest corner, that was a long freaking haul, man. And I left you a voice message. I think I might have my voice might have cracked a little bit on it. I was a little emotional for that one, man. That
Yeah,
was
dude, I was happy for
that
you.
yeah, that was awesome, man. And it's like I said, you get to thinking about everything you're doing it for, and that's another state down, and then you're halfway through Arkansas, and it's like shit, man. We're just doing the damn thing now, and like I said, Louisiana's just going to be a little bit of a corner. Probably won't even take me a week to get through,
And you do have a
Louisiana.
huge community behind you, bro. I mean,
Bro,
there's a lot of people that love you and want to
I,
see you through this and are always
I
worried about you and wondering
yeah,
where you're at, how so
yeah.
you,
It's I tell you,
you
man,
got us all vested in, bro.
man, and that's what I'm saying. I can't quit now, but but it's and that's been like to me one of the other. There's so many good parts about this. Like I can't say one's better than the other,
Yeah.
honestly. But at the same time, you see that politician come out of me right there, right? But no, but
Dang.
no, but
Running for
it's
office.
hey man, maybe yeah, not in this country, not today.
Right.
No, I'm just kidding. Maybe we need more people like that. But anyway, no,
Shoot. Yeah, maybe.
but just like with the people like that follow you, you know what I mean, that watch these, and then I can see them start following me on other platforms, or like the people that I'm meeting, and then they start following me, and then they bring a couple friends, and then the people on TikTok, man. I think you and I bounced into a live one time together a couple
Yeah.
maybe weeks ago. You remember? It was
Yeah,
just
that
like,
was cool.
yeah, man. It's like, and it was so funny because the person that was inviting everybody, we all knew each other through somebody.
Right,
So
exactly.
and she was like, wait, y'all know each other? And when it was me and JC Soldier, and I was like, yeah, I've actually met him in Tennessee. He's from Crossville. She was like, what? I'm like, yeah, like, so it was kind of like really awesome to kind of put all that together, and it's really cool to see how many civilians that have never served are really like not just behind this, but behind anything that veterans do, man. Like,
Huge patriotism in that community on TikTok, man.
yeah,
It's overwhelming. It's
it,
nice.
it is. It's really awesome to see that, man, because I know people like myself and you, we think in our minds, yeah, we could do something that could probably help veterans, but then you got all these people out there who are backing us to help us. They bring people in to us, and it's like, what the hell? Like, this is cool, and I mean,
Absolutely.
I've been invited in a couple lives and been able to talk and been able to do certain things. And I've had a couple people help me with like my TikTok and what I need to do with this and and I'm like, I still don't get it. Whatever. I'm just gonna take stupid videos and keep posting them. But that's awesome to see that, man. That people that they're in Oregon or Texas or Florida or wherever, they just come on in, man, and they love it, and I love that, man. I think it's awesome that I mean, I get messages all the time. Hey, man, how are how you doing? Where you at? You know, is everything good? Do you need anything? That's a big one. So many people ask me, do you need anything? Do you need anything? And I'm like, well, you know, just call Joe Rogan, you know, just text him, you know. No, but no, I mean, it's just that's been awesome to me, man, is to see all of that. And then like even doing this and having people like interacting with us, man, that's to me, that's what it's all about, man. Just having conversations between people, man. And, you know, because when you're out here by yourself, you don't get a whole lot of that. So like when I get to see you and talk to you like this, that's like awesome to me, man. You know, because you know, even out here when I'm talking to people, they're still strangers when I leave. You know, at
Yeah.
least this is kind of like a familiar face. You know, and
Right.
you know, call them. You know, people back home. My mom calls me like 3 times a freaking week. I'm like, yeah, woman, come on, fine. Like, geez, she's like, you're my baby. I'm like, oh my god, 41. She's like, you're the youngest. I'm like, yeah, I'm the prettiest too, but whatever. but but nah, man, that's been awesome, man. Like I said, and then you know, like I said, it gives me a chance tonight. I'll be able to catch up on other podcasts too, man. So that's to hear like other people's stories. Like that's awesome to me too. You know, is to hear what other people are doing and what they've been through, and you know, kind of gives me a little motivation to say, you know what, if you know, today could be for that person, you know, and, or like I said, when I came across the Mississippi, you know, I seen all the devastation. I seen it with my own eyes, a lot of stuff that was caused there. So when I was on TikTok Live, I was just like, you know what, let's dedicate this walk across this bridge, you know, into Arkansas. You know, we this whole state just got knocked down. Let's dedicate it to them. You know, just this half or mile and a half walk across the bridge, you know, whatever it was, you know. So and there's a lot of people out there I'm learning that need help other than just veterans, and
Oh
that's
yeah, dude.
and it's
Especially now, man, with everything, you know.
yeah, and it you know it breaks my heart because you know like we've talked about, you can't help everyone, you know, and but you know maybe at some point you know I can give a little bit of advice to a abused female or something that can help that group, and then or a little bit of advice of what I did to someone who you know like to help foster kids or something, and maybe all of these groups at some point can be one big group, you know, and they can you know outreach to every individual particular group that needs that type of help, you know what I mean?
Right.
But that's you know it's overwhelming, but you know what, if it's got to be done, let's fucking do it. You know.
So Joey Edibles from Square Table Degenerates, the one that he's been commenting a lot. He has his own show. If you ever get a chance, to go subscribe to his show. He's got like
Okay.
230 shows taped, and they're
Jeez.
really good. He does really good interviews. He's a lot of bands and
Okay.
guys from bands and stuff like that. You'll really enjoy it. He's a funny dude too, man. He does stand up. He's a great guy. He sounds like Rodney Dangerfield. If you do you remember Rodney Dangerfield? That's how his voice reminds me of, man. But he's
that's
fucking
awesome.
funny, bro. He's a
That's
good
awesome.
guy.
Now that's on YouTube, right?
Yeah. So like,
Alright, cool.
if you
Yep.
like when you go back, go check him. Go check out these comments or whatever, and then just go
Yeah.
subscribe to his channel.
Got it.
He's a real cool guy, man,
Mm.
and you'll enjoy it too. Like if you know, it's just something if you have, you know, this walk and you have time, man, just to plug it in,
Oh.
you can listen to it while you're on the road. So.
Hey, like I said, man, I got a couple more nights. Probably I'll be in a hotel about 4 more nights, so I'll be able to catch up on some stuff. And you know, it's I'm excited about that. I get down to Shreveport, got some houses I can stay at with some friends, old friends and stuff. You know,
Good, man.
I'll be able to catch up on some things. So
I love your
always
journey, bro. I love your
I-
journey, and you know, I'm glad that, like I said, like I've told you before, I'm glad that we connected when we did, man, at the
I-
start of your journey, and we've been able to walk through this journey together. I kind of hope there's a chance I can be in Texas when you're at the end. I mean, it would be so awesome for us to like sit down and do this and
Man.
just have a face to face and just finally, you know, get that
You know-
hug, bro.
you know it'd be more. You know it'd be more awesome is if I looked at Joe Rogan and said, "Hold on, I got to do this one first." Oh, that would be
I know
funny.
it's okay, bro. I'll just be
No,
sitting there
hell-
watching you while
Oh,
you're doing
hell
the
no.
Joe, dude. Like, I'll wait.
Hey man, just smoking a joint with him and waiting, man. But-
Hell yeah, like, hey Joe, I do that too, brother.
yeah. I do it better, but
Yeah.
nah. But you know, I mean, it's well, you know, and that's where like you know, I love the fact that we can have some comedy, but you know, and I am on a journey myself, man. But in all honesty, man, anybody who's watching, like you're my brother, man. This is our journey. Like that's the reason I share what I share. That's the reason I love talking to you here. That's the reason we text. You know what I mean? Like it's our journey, man. This is it's our community. You know what I mean? And and it's awesome to be able to share it with people, and it's awesome to take some things in for myself. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's also awesome to be able to share it with everybody, man. Because I mean, all the people that are rooting for me, this is something that I'm able to do.
There's a lot of takeaways that we all could take away from each other through the whole journey. I mean,
that's right.
In so many different ways.
Yeah, man. There's a lot to gain. A lot to learn. There's a lot. It's ours, man. This is our time. You know what I mean? This is our time. So.
Yeah, Joey's had 5 different people who have already been on Joe Rogan. So,
man, it's that's like, and that was a personal goal of mine. And I had somebody ask me one time. They said, "What, you're going to go and ask him for money?" And I said, "Man, not even that. But just help me, show me how I need to do this. Like, help me with my marketing. Don't give me money. Don't don't give me what I need. Don't feed me for a day. Show me what I need to do to feed myself for the next 60 to 100 years. Like get just hang out with me for a little bit.
And not only that, but the awareness that he could bring. That's you go look at one of his videos; they're in the 3 million viewings or something. I mean, his stuff gets out there. I mean, he's probably one of the #1 podcasters out there right now. I mean,
well, I'm learning too that I didn't know this, but I think Crowder is down in Texas too. Steven Crowder, Jones, I think Alex Jones might be down in. So I mean, there's so many.
Oh yeah.
But even if I could do that for the next couple of months, do podcasts like this and do podcasts with multiple different people just to kind of get every platform that I can get, man. Like you said, it's just about bringing the awareness, and then the rest of it will come, man. Some people are going to jump on board with it. So you know what, we like what this guy's trying to do, and I am good at what I do.
Well, I think you're going to have a big story to tell. Because your journey started off at one place and it's going to finish off at another. And in between there, bro, you've met all kinds of different things, and personalities and stuff along the way. So you have a huge story. Well, yeah. You have a huge story to tell, you know what I mean? And so I imagine when you're done with this walk, brother, you could somehow put this into some kind of a documentary, even a book or whatever. And it's a major walk, man. And this is you're doing this for so many reasons, so many different things. It's not just the mental health reasons.
Yeah.
There's a lot to going there.
Well, and having said that too, Brian, it's for me a little bit, and I won't say that I started out with me in mind. I can say that, but I can say that along this way, it's helped me just as much as I feel like it's helping other people, with their stuff that they're struggling through. And I mean, it's and yeah, man, there's no telling what'll
just
be.
Think about it, man. I mean, someone who's having a rough day and they're not wanting to get up and go. Here you are, you're in the middle of nowhere. You're not anywhere close to your home right now. Nope. You know what I mean? So you got to keep on going.
That's what I was going to try to hit on too. As I've seen a lot of people that, they run across the country, they walk across the country. And the one thing that I've noticed is they've always got film crews with them. There's like somebody with them. And I think that's one of the things that kind of might separate my journey a little bit is I'm by myself. I refer to we a lot. I say we're here, we're there, but my company is back home doing their thing, and if it weren't for them doing that, I couldn't do what I do. So that's why I refer to we. But this is a whole nother ball game when you think about just throwing a ruck on and just walking away from everything and just in the unknown. It's liberating a little bit, but then it's also a little bit terrifying. So
right.
So,
I get.
But that's the one thing, because somebody's, people walk all the time, and I'm like, yeah, but every time I see them, it's on a camera that's beside them. Like, how did they do that?
And to me, it doesn't make any insignificant for anybody else. You know what I mean?
No, it's just different.
Everybody has their own journeys and their different
Yep.
ways what they're experiencing. I mean, there's no way that when you go on a walk that you guys are experiencing the same thing,
No,
and each walk is the exact same, right? I mean,
well,
you've
yeah.
started off spraining your ankle really bad. I mean,
Getting
who
a bad
knows?
infection in my foot. I
Right?
got a
Yeah,
bad infection. It started off kind of rough, you know.
yeah,
But yeah, like you said, I mean, you know, so it's the journey's going to be what you make it. But you know, there's so many different things that can make your journey different. You know, whether if you live up north, if you leave in the summertime, if you leave in the spring, if you're in the fall, if you're on flatland, you're in mountains. If yeah, there's, you know, it can it can take so many different types of turns, man. And like you said, it's nothing against, like you said, it's not bad or good. It's just different. And you know, this is the journey that you know, was put on me, and this is a journey that you know, unfortunately some things happen, and this is where I'm at with rucking. And you know what? I think at this point I wouldn't want it any other way. You know, it's because I don't I wouldn't know how to act if I had somewhere to sleep every night. You know?
right. I mean, and do you
So
feel like this has helped your mental health in
uh,
any kind of way? I mean, I know. Man,
hundred
I
percent.
know. I feel like my mental health has been the best when I've had the time to isolate myself
Mhm.
and remove, like you said, no technology, other
Yeah,
people, other influences. You kind of have that time to you yourself in nature. I
yeah.
imagine, dude, you're able to
It,
clear your head a lot better.
you can, like I said, there's two sides to that for
Oh,
me.
that's yeah,
Yeah,
right. I
you know,
get it.
because
Yeah, the
because
trick.
because
There's the play your trick side. Yeah,
yeah, because you know, and sometimes you know, it'd be nice to have someone there with you, even if you aren't talking.
right.
And you know, I started to equate some of the stuff that we go through as veterans when we get out as probably the easiest way that I could explain it is to almost like a child that grew up in an unstable environment. There's no security, there's no love, there's no companionship from the parents to the child, and they're having that same type of uh effect that we have when we get out. You know, we had all these things, and some of us went in because we didn't have that anyway.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
and then you know, some people wind up, you know, going and doing other stuff and going to prison. And I've made that comparison a lot too. Inmates to veterans or inmates to active. You know, so it it can be, sometimes it's nice. Sorry about
Bless
that.
you. No, you're good,
Oh,
brother.
sorry about that. But then sometimes it's nice to not have anybody there. You know, because that can, because I've learned too, like you said, the dark can creep in, but the more you're alone, it's not as dark.
Sure.
You know, it's like every time it creeps in, it's like I know what that is. That's just my mind fucking with me again. You know, like get out of here. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it becomes, but you know, I think that you have to be somewhat healthy mentally to be able to think like that. You know, and I'm not saying that I'm, you know, mentally healthy, but I think that this has definitely helped with that with me. Like I said, I'm able to see darkness when it starts to creep in and negativity, and I'm like, all right, nope, go away. You know what I mean? And I can do that, you know, with pretty much anything. You know, phone calls that I've gotten while I've been on the road, work's not going right. You know, this material didn't come, and it's like, it'll be there
Do you
tomorrow.
feel like that awareness has come along and grown through this journey, and
Uh,
that's
100%, a hundred
right?
percent. You know, and you know, there's also things that you can do when you're by yourself that a lot of us, we don't like to do around other people. You know, I mean, there's,
Sure.
you know, you're gonna have those moments where something might creep up that might be from the past. It's like you're trying to relive it, but you go through it again, and then you think, man, I could have done that different. You know, and I'll even use an example just to put some of my personal stuff out there. You know, because I don't do that a whole lot, but you know, my sister, I love her to death, and you know, she went through some stuff when I was just getting out of the service, and I had to call her the other day and tell her, man, I wish I was there for you the whole time. I wish I'd have been there sooner, you know, and certain things, the way her life turned out, wouldn't have happened. And she said, Jason, you were there when you needed to be. and I broke down because that's my sister, man. I love her to death,
Right.
and but little stuff like that, like I said, it'll kind of come in, kind of replay a little bit, and you'll have a moment of, let me go ahead and get that out.
But
Let me call,
you know what's great about that though, dude, is the only way that you can move on or make something better is you got to own it and say I messed up and I didn't
Yep.
do right this time. That's the only
That's
way you're going to make something better or change it.
and
Is has that realization. And sometimes it's rough, bro, sometimes it's rough just to say, "Hey, bro, I fucked up."
Yep.
A lot of us don't. Our pride doesn't have us in it to break down and just say, "You know what, I fucked up." Own it.
Well,
You know what I mean?
and sometimes, Brian, like, and I'll explain this situation too. Sometimes we don't really mess up, but sometimes our actions affect other people, even when they're the right actions.
Right.
And something that I've really thought about is when I get home, that I was involved in a situation last July, self-defense shooting, and that the guy, was he died. And something I've thought about is when I get back is just speaking to his parents, because they should never have to bury a child, even though the actions I took were the right actions. I'd still love to just sit down with them and be like, I'm the one that did this.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that you're not without your son, and not give a whole lot of explanation. But like I said, sometimes we didn't do anything wrong. It just still hurts. It still sucks, because not because of what we did or what we're feeling, but that's got to be hurting other people because it affected other people.
Well,
And
it
then,
might be a part of healing that you need to kind of
and
close it. I think that you might need to close a chapter, and it sounds like.
and I do, and it's been, it'll that one creeps up on me a lot, because like I said, when we went in, we took an oath to protect the people, and to me, and granted, some people do things that, there's only one way to handle it,
Yeah.
and that's what that situation was.
When
But
you're in a
it's
point
not,
of going home to your family or they're going home to their
that
family, bro, you gotta. I mean, hello.
and that was exactly what it was. And for me, um, it just hit me a little different being somebody on the street. You know what I mean? It's just a, and just like I said, man, that it's just a bad situation. And if nothing else, I would just love to hug his parents and say, you know, I'm sorry you're going through this. If nothing else, because like I said, I can't apologize for what I did, because I don't, in my heart of heart, my mind, I don't feel like what I did was wrong, and I know what I did wasn't wrong.
Right.
But I know it sucks for them to have to, bury a child. So that's something that I've been dealing with a lot on this trip too. Just for me personally, there's been a lot. I've experienced a lot of loss. I did lose one buddy while I was in, and I've had, five more that have either been alcohol related, drug related, or taken their own life. And all of us weren't close, but a few of us were pretty close. We were close enough to know each other. We were close enough to get a phone call when it happened. Um, things like that, they've affected a little bit. You think back, what could I have done different then? But it's that's a rough one, man. It's a hard life, and all we can do is live it, man. And you only get one chance at it, and you got to learn from the things we did and do better the next time. That's all we can do.
I mean, it's so ironic that your whole walk is to raise mental health, and here you are, have your own mental health struggles, and here you are, kind of going
It,
through a healing process, man. I mean,
it,
you're having to deal with
it's
this shit.
it's rough, man. But that's why I say I maybe I didn't know I needed this, but when I was told to walk, maybe he knew I needed this, So
Sure.
and I can say that the hardest days that I've had walking are cake compared to the hardest days I've had emotionally in life over the past 41 years. You know what I mean? So I can say that
I hear you, bro.
walking's the easy part. It's just sometimes those things will creep in, but it's been it's been it's been good, man. Like I said, I wouldn't trade this experience for anything in the world, just like I wouldn't trade my time in for anything in the world. I wouldn't trade meeting people like yourself for anything in the world, man. Like this has been an amazing ride, dude. It's been amazing. So
Yeah, I'm glad you're sharing it with us, brother. And
yeah, brother, I
with
appreciate you.
that note, yeah, man, absolutely. We're gonna keep on giving you guys updates. So just stand by. We'll be following Jason all the way through, and we're gonna definitely see him to the end and
Yes,
beyond.
sir.
So, brother, just stick around. I'll be back there in a second. But once again, I appreciate you, Jason.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Brian.
You're the best, man. Hold
Thanks
on.
everybody for watching.
All right, friends and fam, I appreciate you guys watching. Joey, thanks so much, man, for interacting with us. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys haven't had the chance to go check out Jason's story, I've been documenting it from the beginning. We got an interview in with him before he left, and we've been doing like about every 10 days or so, every couple weeks, we've been checking in with him, and we're going to keep on checking in with him until he goes all the way through. But once again, thank you guys so much for watching Every Day's a Saturday with your host, me, myself, and I, Brian Roof. Until next time.